You see this logo, and you think the ultimate driving machine. You think German engineering, luxury, and speed. But what if I told you the car that saved this company was a tiny bubble car designed by a refrigerator maker? Or that for years, they've let us believe a myth about their iconic logo. Everyone knows BMW. But the story behind the brand is full of bizarre twists, near bankruptcy, and some of the cleverest business moves in auto history. Today we're digging deep to find 10 facts about BMW that you probably don't know. Let's get into it. Fact 10. The first BMW wasn't a BMW, or a car. Okay, let's start at the very beginning. BMW, or Bayerische Motoren Werke, started in 1916. But they didn't make cars. They were an aircraft engine manufacturer called Bayerische Flugzeugwerke. Their engines were famous for setting altitude records. After World War I, Germany was banned from producing airplanes by the Treaty of Versailles. So BMW had to pivot to survive. They made railway brakes and boat engines before finally, in 1923, they released their very first vehicle, the R32 motorcycle. It took them another 5 years to even get into the car business. Fact 9. Their first car was actually British. Yeah, the very first BMW car wasn't a German-engineered masterpiece. In 1928, BMW bought a factory in Eisenach. That factory was already building a small 7-seater car under license from the British Austin 7 company. BMW just rebadged it as the BMW Dixie 315. So, the granddaddy of your M5 was technically a budget-friendly British car in a German suit. Fact, the bubble car that saved the company. By the 1950s, BMW was in deep financial trouble. Their luxury V8 sedans were beautiful, but they were absurdly expensive and weren't selling. The company was on the brink of bankruptcy. So what saved them? This, the Isetta. And the wildest part? It wasn't their design. It was designed by an Italian company called Iso Rivolta, which made refrigerators. No joke. BMW's execs saw this tiny bubble car at a car show, bought the license and all the body tooling, and stuck their own one-cylinder motorcycle engine in it. It was cheap, weird, and you got in through a door on the front. The public loved it. BMW sold over 160,000 of them. That little refrigerator car, the anti-BMW, generated enough cash to keep the lights on and develop the new models that would define their future. Facts, they made pots and pans. That post-war desperation wasn't just solved by the Isetta. In the immediate aftermath of World War II, BMW's factories were in ruins, and they were once again banned from making vehicles or engines. To keep their skilled workers employed and the company afloat, they made whatever they could. This included pots, pans, kitchen supplies, and even bicycles. It's a pretty humbling image. The company that would one day build the M1 supercar was, for a time, just trying to sell you a quality saucepan. Fact 6. The great logo myth. This is my favorite one. Ask anyone what the BMW logo means. They'll say, oh, it's a spinning white propeller against a blue sky from their aircraft days. It makes for a great story, but it's not true. According to BMW's own historians, the blue and white quadrants are simply the colors of the Free State of Bavaria, BMW's home state. So where did the propeller story come from? A 1929 BMW advertisement. They were promoting a new aircraft engine and just superimposed the logo onto a plane's spinning propeller. The ad looked cool, the myth was born, and BMW's marketing department just let it ride for almost 100 years. Fact 5. Their first EV was in 1972. Long before the i3 or the i8, BMW was already in the electric game. For the 1972 Munich Olympics, the company built 2 all-electric cars based on their 1602 sedan. They were called the BMW 1602. They were painted bright orange and were used as support vehicles in camera cars for long-distance events like the marathon. They had a tiny range of about 37 miles, 60 kilometers, and were packed with 12 standard lead-acid batteries, but they were the true pioneers of BMW's entire I brand. Fact 4. BMW set a motorcycle speed record that stood for 14 years. Host. BMW's two-wheeled history is just as impressive as its four-wheeled one. On November 28, 1937, a factory rider named Ernst Henny laid down on a custom-built, fully fared BMW 500cc motorcycle. With a supercharger strapped to the engine, he hit 279.5 kilometers per hour, or 173.7 miles per hour, on a motorcycle in 1937. That record was so insane it stood untouched for 14 years. Fact 3. The art car project was a racer's idea. You've probably seen the stunning BMW art cars painted by legends like Andy Warhol or Roy Lichtenstein. But this legendary project wasn't the idea of a marketing exec. It was the brainchild of French race car driver Hervé Poulain in 1975. He was going to race a BMW 3.0 CSL at Le Mans and had the wild idea to have his friend, the famous artist Alexander Calder, paint the car. It became a moving piece of art, and the tradition was born. Fact 2. The lost and found concept car. In 1970, BMW debuted a stunning concept car at the Geneva Motor Show. It was called the Garmisch, and it was designed by the legendary Marcello Gandini. It was a beautiful, futuristic design, and then it just vanished. The car was lost for decades, presumed destroyed. Then in 2019, BMW decided to bring it back. Using only a handful of black and white photos and Marcello Gandini's own memory, he was still alive and consulted on the project, they rebuilt the entire car from scratch. It was a stunning tribute to a lost piece of their history. Fact 1. The ultimate checkmate for Rolls-Royce. This is a boss move. In 1998, BMW and Volkswagen got into a massive bidding war to buy Rolls-Royce. VW won. They paid £430 million and got the factory, the designs, the Spirit of Ecstasy hood ornament, and the iconic grille. They owned Rolls-Royce, or so they thought. There was one tiny problem. VW had bought Rolls-Royce Motors. They had not bought the rights to the Rolls-Royce name and logo. See, the name was owned by Rolls-Royce plc, the Aero Engine Company, which just so happened to be a key business partner with BMW. BMW had quietly made a separate deal and paid a mere $40 million for the brand itself. This led to an incredible standoff. VW owned the factory to build the cars but couldn't call them Rolls-Royce. BMW owned the name but had no factory, no designs, and no mascot. In the end, they struck a deal. VW would keep the entire factory and the Bentley brand, and on January 1st, 2003, BMW would get to walk away with the most valuable asset of all, the Rolls-Royce name. They built a brand new factory, designed a new car from a blank sheet of paper, and launched the modern era of Rolls-Royce, all because of one of the most brilliant and ruthless business plays in automotive history. So from pots and pans to propeller myths, from bubble cars to brand heists, the story of BMW is so much more than just driving. It's a masterclass in survival. Which of these facts blew your mind the most? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite brands.